Hey, Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube, and I'm just closing up the bike shop today, Biloxi Bicycle Works, and I'm walking by the FX2, and I just had to make a quick little video. There's so many people interested in this bike. They come through the bike shop all day long, and they see this bike and they're asking about this one. I just sold to my friend Terry Gonzalez. Your bike's all built up. But there's a lot of things that I really like about this bike. Being an IBD, independent bicycle dealer, I get to sell a lot of different brand bikes. I really like when I get to sell a Trek. You know, Trek is my premier product here at Biloxi Bicycle Works, and for good reason. Like I said, I'm a small bike shop. I bought this building, so I've got to be here for about 17 years, and I try to only sell things that don't come back for repair all the time, or sell things I believe in. This is a great bike, and this is one of my favorite e-bikes, and I get a lot of people walking into my shop all the time asking a lot of questions about e-bikes. I'm an Aventon dealer, so Aventon makes a good e-bike, and I tell my customers, hey, you know, that's my C-tiered e-bike, and people say, gosh, why do you have a C-tiered? It meets a price point and a value proposition for what it has. At least Aventon supports bike shops. It's not, well, they do sell direct consumer as well, but they also support bike shops. They like their bikes being in a bike shop, so it gives them a little bit legitimacy. But I tell people, you know, it's not my A-tier. When people ask me my A-tier, I refer them to Trek. One, Trek has got the best warranty in the business. And really, this bike is a $2,500 e-bike. I've been selling e-bikes for a long time, and I sell a lot of expensive e-bikes. I sell a lot of e-bikes, you know, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 e-bikes. Believe me, I think they're worth it. I think e-bikes make the world a better place. Let me tell you some of the things why I like this bike. It's basically the form factor of a regular bicycle. I mentioned Aventon earlier. Those are some pretty powerful e-bikes. A lot of them have 500 watt motors and 750 watt motors, and they go 20 to 28 miles an hour. They're almost like an electric scooter with a pedal. And I tell people there's room in the world for both types of e-bikes. There's a room for that, and there's a room for, you know, a bicycle that gives you that little bit of assistance. And that's what this bike does. It's a bicycle with a little bit of assistance. There's a lot of benefits to this. Now, when you look at specs and you say, well, geez, why should I buy something with a 250 watt motor and a 250 watt battery compared to something with a 600 watt hour battery and a 750 watt motor? For one, people buying this bike are usually bicyclists that want a little assistance. They want to go further. Maybe they want to ride more. They haven't ridden for a long time, and you just want that little bit of assistance. Now, when you can buy a bike like this that looks like an e-bike or like a regular bike, it's got this is what's called a Stagger. So a Stagger frame, and of course I just grabbed my GoPro. I was walking by this bike and just had to make a video on it. So the Stagger frame means it just has more of a low step to get on and off it really easy. And that is nice when you have a rack on the back. So when you have a rack on the back and you have a bag or some panniers off the back and you want to get on, you've got to lift your leg basically up and over the rack and up and over the seat. With a Stagger, you can slip through, which is really, really nice. It also has that little bit of safety if you need to get off real quick. You're not hooking your toe on the top bar. This is a Trek FX2. So FX is kind of more of a city style bike. It puts you at a neutral position. It's not a real relaxed position, and it's not a real aggressive position. It's a position that's neutral. Now Trek has plenty of bikes in its lineup for all different positions, but I think the FX is more of that bicycle with some assistance. It's lightweight, it's 40 pounds. I pick up a lot of 50, 60, 70 pound e-bikes. My arm right now, this is Saturday afternoon. We worked all week in the bike shop. I'm closing up right now. My arm is worn out from picking up e-bikes, putting them on the bike lift, from carrying them up and down my stairs. I wish they were all 40 pounds. Now, if you're a bicyclist and you're thinking, gosh, 40 pounds is a heavy bike, it might be for a conventional bicycle. Like here's a Trek FX right here. This is a Trek FX, not the Plus. This is not a motorized bicycle. And this bike is about 28 pounds. Add a little bit of weight for the battery, add a little bit of weight for the motor, and 40 pounds is a real decent weight. This bike is not super fancy in its components. Like I said, it's about a $2,500 bike. It has a nice aluminum frame, and I think Trek makes some of the best hydroformed aluminum in the business. And of course, it's nice and clean. So look at the headlight. I like the way the headlight is positioned right in the middle. You've got your internal cable routing that routes straight through your head tube. And as a bicycle mechanic, this is not one of those bikes that's a super pain in the butt to replace, lines. Nice frame, decent components. So here I've got a Shimano altless 9-speed derailleur. There's no front derailleur. It's a single speed in the front, and you've got your 9 speeds in the back. I believe it's 11 to 34, which is a little bit more gear range than like an 11 to 32. So you got plenty of gear range. This is the new style altless derailleur. It shifts really good. With 9-speed stuff, it's less finicky than 10, 11, 12, and now 13-speed stuff. It gives you a little bit more tolerance. So it's a good shifting bike, and with a 250 watt Hyena motor, so it's a rear drive Hyena motor, nice and small, very stealthy, fairly light for what it is and the power it delivers. You get a good manageable power system. 250 watt battery that gives you about 35 miles of range, and you can put the battery extender in. So it's got a little port right here where you charge up the battery. You can put a battery extender here. Basically looks like a water bottle to double the capacity to give you about 70 miles of range. So if you're commuting back and forth to work and you don't want to have to charge up every day, 70 miles is really good. And that's why I think this bike is much more sensible than some of the bigger watt hour motors you don't really need for general bicycle riding. It does have an awesome rack. So I talk about commuting. You could almost put 50 pounds of weight on this. Now you can do it as a pannier. So you got the panniers off to the side, or it's got the MIK system where you can put a bag on it. And it's got a nice tail light in the back, which is important for safety. So really, take a look at this Trek FX2. It's a good looking bike. Doesn't scream, hey, I'm an e-bike. It has a very small form factor up here. So just one little button on the cockpit, on your cockpit here, that gives you all the information you need. Your battery level, gives you your plus and your minus, has 3 levels of assistance. Really nice fenders. So the fenders are not a rattly fender. They're not a fender that's going to bend or break, and they have a little bit of movement to them. So if you lean it up something when you're locking it up, your fender usually goes right back into place. So just a very, very, it gives you everything you need and not much more, and puts it at a really, really decent price point. Comes in 3 different colors. Oh, and it's got a nice kickstand too. So the kickstand's rear mounted, and that's important. So when you're putting your bike in the bike rack, if you need to roll it backwards, that pedal's not coming and hitting that kickstand and stuff on that back wheel. So just a quick video, unplanned videos. I'm closing up the bike shop for the week. I'm actually getting ready to go ride my little BMX bike right now with a group of guys. But I couldn't stop, walk by the Trek FX without giving a little video on it. Of course, I am a Trek dealer in my bike shop, Biloxi Bicycle Works. And if you have a local Trek dealer, definitely, go to your local Trek dealer, ask them some questions about the Trek FX Plus. If you don't have a local Trek dealer, or you're around Biloxi, Mississippi, somewhere on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and you have questions about this bike, or you want to buy this bike from someone who actually rides these bikes, I ride these bikes a lot. I ride this bike a lot. Now, this is one I just sold to my friend Terry, but I do commute on a Trek FX quite a bit back and forth to work. I know this bike inside and out. I know the power. I know the motor. I ride this bike in all kinds of conditions as I'm riding back and forth to work, and I do ride over a big bridge almost every day. This bike has enough power, and it doesn't matter if there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind or a tailwind. You can go 20 miles an hour on this bike, and you can pedal faster than 20 miles an hour, and quite frankly, I do that quite a bit. This is a great bike for someone that wants a bike with a little bit of assistance and not too much. It's very manageable, and the weight is nice. At 40 pounds, it's hard to find a commuter style e-bike in the 40-pound range. Believe me, my arm is screaming at me right now from picking up e-bikes all week long. So anyway, Trek does a great job on the Trek FX2. Awesome colors, good bikes. If you like what we do here on the Bicycle Rider YouTube, I'm going to be reviewing a lot more Trek bicycles. In my showroom, I got full of bicycles. So this is one that I use personally, and I'm actually selling this to a good friend of mine. And you don't sell a bike to a good friend of yours if you don't believe in it. Questions on the Trek FX, call me at Biloxi Bicycle Works. My name is Bart Luther, aka I'm the Bicycle Rider on Bicycle Rider YouTube, and I own Biloxi Bicycle Works, which is my little bicycle shop. So, like I said, if you got a Trek dealer, you know, definitely talk to your Trek dealer about it. If you don't, I'd be glad to be your Trek dealer. Or if you just need a resource on all things Trek, hit me up at Biloxi Bicycle Works Tuesday through Saturday. And when I'm not here, I'm out riding bikes. Come ride bikes with us. We're getting ready to go ride right now. Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube. If you like what we do on our channel, just like and subscribe. Lets YouTube know that you guys are watching us, and it helps me, spend my time making videos. I know people are watching them. This is a great bike. Much more to come on the Trek FX, but thumbs up from the Bicycle Rider, a guy who actually rides these bikes and sells these bikes.